Run or walk? Well, neither. I've already done it, but it was too windy and I'm not falling into that trap again. So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 13 of my 310,000 step challenge. Today, I've done some steps out, but again, windy. Don't need to go there. So now I'm home. I'm just doing various little household bits. Clara wants this teddy bear fixed, and I can't remember why it's broken. So I'll sort this. I'm going to take today to answer some questions which have popped up more than once in the comments. So, yeah, just answering some basic questions. First question, of course, being why the Samaritans? Natasha's been ill for a while, and I've been caring for her for a while. The severity of which we didn't actually tell people because it wasn't really anything, it wasn't anyone else's problem. It was all like, I'm not going to go around flag waving saying, look what I'm doing. Because Natasha wouldn't have liked that anyway. So like she hated people running around after her. When she was in hospital, she kept on telling the nurses not to worry and to come back later, which was stupid because she did need help. But, I was classed as her carer, so that's what I did. Looking after her, the house, the children, getting school sorted. It kind of took a bit of a toll on my brain. It's fine to do it for sort of like a month or two, but then after that, things start to slip and you start to get a little bit mental. So I called the Samaritans basically as a set of people to talk to. It's all like no judgment. They listened. They didn't try to make life better. They just listened, and it was quite helpful. They gave me various different things to try and options, other people I could have called. One of the most helpful things they actually said was try and focus on something that you're not any good at and try and make it better. So I picked music theory. I can't play an instrument to save my life, but I spent last bit of lockdown and first bit of Natasha being in hospital just focusing on music theory. My goodness at maths and stats has actually helped me to try and figure a few bits out so I understand music better, and I think I get, I like music a bit more now because I listen to all sorts of stuff for fun now, which, has helped. So yeah, that's why I picked Samaritans, because they helped me a lot. Next question people like asking is, how are you? I don't know. I really don't know. People ask me that one all the time, and it's like, it's hard to say. I'm not sure. At the moment, we're in limbo, because I know Natasha's passed away, but it doesn't feel real. Like I keep expecting her to phone and just say, you haven't visited me at hospital, or anything like that. So I just keep expecting that, but part of me knows it's not going to happen. I suppose waiting for her body to be released so we can actually plan a funeral is, the major problem with this. Because I'm literally just treading water at this point. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm doing stuff, but I'm not doing anything, which I think, isn't helping. So how am I? I'm not sure, but keep an eye on me. Next, how are the children? And that's a good question because they're children, so it's very difficult to tell. Clara is 4. I don't expect her to understand or quite get what's happened, but she knows. I've been completely honest with both of them. She knows mummy's passed away, and she seems to mention it occasionally, but ultimately I don't think she's going to remember too much when she's older, which is partly why I'm making these videos, so that there is a living record that I can show her this playlist. I can go back and she can share all these memories. Seb is being affected a lot more by it. You can see it in the way he acts, in the way he has issues with his school. They're doing a lot more play therapy now than learning to try and see where his mind is at this point. But ultimately, we're not going to know how he feels until he's old enough to sort of articulate it properly, and he's not there yet. Right, the next question is 2 bits, but I'll answer them both. It was, the video of the photos was lovely, but you're in it a lot. And also, why do you not tell stories about Natasha's childhood? The answer to both of those is actually really simple. The reason why there's a lot of pictures of both of us is because we were together for 20 years. Natasha hated her picture being taken at the best of times, and trying to get a photo out of her was an absolute nightmare. So the only way I could do it was on certain occasions where we get a photo together. And so yeah, I'm going to be in a lot of photos because we spent a lot of our lives together. Over half our lives together, a quarter of it we were married for. And I've recently been going through sort of like Google Drives and Dropboxes and finding some selfies that Natasha took that she took and then deleted, but Google had managed to back up. So there's a lot there that no one's ever seen before. And that's a lot of the photos that I've included. But yeah, other than that, photos of her with the children, photos of her with me. She just didn't like her photo being taken. Which is stupid because she was beautiful, and I think she felt pressure to look good all the time. And so when she saw herself not as she thought looking good, she just hated it, and that kind of stuck with her for the rest of her life. These days they'd probably call it something like body dysmorphia, but yeah. As to the other one, why do I tell no stories about, her youth, her school days and stuff? And there's a good reason for that. I tell stories about my experiences with her, about everything we did together. I don't talk about her childhood because I didn't know her. I don't talk about, in passing I've mentioned sort of like the Royal Albert Hall or, her dancing. But ultimately, I don't know enough about it. Don't get me wrong, we were together a long time, so we exchanged stories about youth and stuff. But like you do with every story, she told me bits of a story about stuff that happened. And as you do, you leave out bits you don't like. And then, of course, with my memory the way it is, if I tried to tell you those stories now, I would probably have a member of her family or a friend correct me and tell me that I was wrong. And it's not worth having that done, because I don't want to taint my memory, and I don't want, to be accused of, non-truthfulness when it comes to remembering. So I'm sticking to what I know. I'm going to be honest, if you'd like to know more about Natasha's youth, about how she was as a child, about the eye operation, the knee operation, about what she was like at school, then once this is all settled down, her dad has all of that. He knows all of that. He's got all those photos, he's got all those experiences, and he was with her for a long time while she was younger. If you want to know about her acting, about the working and dancing in the Royal Albert Hall, the festivals she used to run, the all that sort of stuff. Her theatrical career, learning pyrotechnics. She was a trained pyrotechnician. If you want to know all about that, her cousin Craig was there with her for most of that. Ask him. I'm sticking to what I know because it was half of my life. And the memories I have of her are mine. They're not from anybody else's perspective. They're not a third-hand account. They're not, anything that that I can't verify or vouch for. So I'm going to keep on doing what I'm doing. Now, at the end of this video, there was actually a second cut of the video I made. It has slightly more photos on, and it plays differently. So at the end of this video, I'm going to put that video in. And feel free to watch it if you want to. So, because there's a lot of photos there that I think no one's ever seen. And there's no music, so just pause, have a look at all the pictures. If you've got any questions about any of them, do ask. I'll answer any issues you have or any questions you got. But yeah, I've got a few more steps to do, so I'll see what I can do. See you tomorrow. Oh, that's why it had no batteries. That makes sense. I love you.